Hello everyone, this is Leanne at the State Library of Kansas, and today we're going to learn how to download a book from Project Gutenberg and transfer it to our portable device. So of course the first thing we need to do is find a book we want to use. My search term of the day is Sherlock Holmes, and I'm going to choose Sign of the Four. Now, if you want to read this book online, here's where you'd go, but we want to download it to our computer. And since I have a Nook, I'm going to choose this EPUB format. If you have a Kindle, there's where you need to be. But I'm going to click on EPUB. And since I'm using Internet Explorer, this pops up this little gold-rimmed download bar at the bottom. What I'm going to do is click open here on the end and go to Save As. Sometimes if you hit just save, it'll save it where you can't find it again. And if you hit open, it will open it in a reader on your computer, but you won't be able to transfer it. So I'm going to go to Save As, and I'm going to click on Desktop because I want it to put the file on my desktop where it's easy to get to. And I'm also going to rename the file. This is very important if you're going to transfer to a device like a Nook, because when you pull this up on your Nook, it's going to say book PG2097, not Sign of the Four. So I'm going to give it a name. I'm just call it Sign 4, and click Save. And now I'm going to minimize this Explorer window because we do not need it anymore. And Sign of the Four, I'm going to move this into the video area. It downloaded to my desktop. You just couldn't see it because it was outside of my video window. Well, we now have two different options for transferring this to our Nook. I plugged the Nook in right before I started the video, and I've got this autoplay option here. If your autoplay does not pop up for your digital device, you'll want to go to the Start menu and click on either Computer or My Computer, and then click on your device. So what I'm going to do is go to this Open folder to view files, and this pops up all the folders that are on my Nook. The best place to put a Project Gutenberg book is in My Documents. So I'm going to click on that, and as you can see, someone else in the past has downloaded a book to this Nook, but they didn't rename the file, so it's really hard to tell what that book actually is. So something I can do now is drag and drop Sign of the Four into this My Documents folder. Now to drag and drop, I'm going to click on my Sign of the Four, hold down, and move it into this window pane. And when I release my mouse button, it copies it. And there it is. You would at this point be able to disconnect your Nook and open it up and be able to start reading Sign of the Four once you go to My Documents folder in the Nook. Another thing that you can do is use Adobe Digital Editions. Adobe Digital Editions is free. Excuse me. The only thing you'll have to do is create an Adobe ID, but that is pretty simple. So I'm going to open Adobe Digital Editions, and you can see that here. Here's books that I have downloaded in the past. I'm going to shrink this down a little bit so we can see a little more. What I'm going to do is drag and drop the Sign of Four into my library here. And it automatically does open it up, and because it thinks, oh, this is new, we want to start reading it. And you can do that if you would like. But what I'm going to do is, we're in the reading view. I'm going to go back to my library. And you may have seen over here under bookshelves, my Nook is at the very bottom. I had previously set it up so my Nook and Adobe Digital Editions work well together. What I can do now is click on this Sign of the Four and move it over to my Nook. And it copies pretty fast. And so there's two different ways to do that. It doesn't really matter which way you prefer. That is totally up to you. Kindle users, you'll want to use that first option to drag things into your Kindle. It's just up to you. Doesn't matter which way, you'll still be able to enjoy the book. And have a nice day.